Hello, and welcome to another episode of The End of the Search. This one is regarding a question that someone asked in my Spanish channel, so I go ahead and share it with you in the English channel. And the question is, Nick, talking about conditioning, why I feel guilty for not being productive, which I am, but for the culture, being productive is making money? Okay, let's cut the chase. You don't feel guilty because you're making or not making money, whatever the case may be. You feel guilty because you're believing the thought that suggests that you should feel guilty for making or not making money, or not be in accordance with what society says. Without that thought, well, then making money is making money, and not making money is not making money. End of story. Now the thing is that question will keep you running in circles for the rest of your life, because we're not here to try to fix the situation. These videos are pointing to who are you. When you really see, when you can see through the veil of projection, when there's a recognition that I am, then the details of the movie are no longer distraction. And that's how you experience the peace that surpasses all understanding. On a personal level, well, everyone will do whatever they're supposed to do. Some people will work hard to make money or find a way to make money, and other people may or may not. But when you are conscious of who you are, whatever the scenario that life presents is no longer a distraction. And this is what these videos are pointing to. You see? When you're dreaming, whatever happens in the dream is completely irrelevant, has no effect on the dreamer. So when you are conscious of the fact that you live in peace. You experience the peace that surpasses all understanding. And of course, from that frame of mind, you'll see how life unfolds anyway. That's why there's a video that I suggest you watch if you haven't seen it yet, which is a title, Do We Have Free Will? Because when there's a recognition of the fact that I am, then all thoughts that seems to cross consciousness will have no effect on our well-being. Simultaneously, when we know, because now we have done the investigation and that video addresses it, the fact that I am not in charge, that life is living in me, you put these two together, the recognition that I am, and consequently, well, the recognition that life is living itself through me, you take a huge weight off your shoulder, you know. So when I wake up in the morning, I don't know how life will unfold, but life unfolds. And you know, I don't like to turn these videos into some kind of a motivational, inspirational videos or anything like that, but my experience has been that I've always had whatever I needed, you know, unless the mind suggests that I should need more or things should be different. That is why I love the quote from the scriptures, from the Bible, that says, look at the birds in the sky. They neither sow nor reap nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father takes care of them. Aren't you more important than they are? I took that to heart. Life is living me. Life takes care of life. So the only thing I have to be conscious of, how the mind, the conditioning, wants to engage, to judge, to translate the present moment experience. But without the conditioning, I mean without the believing the content of the mind, you simply are. And again, these kinds of questions are well, every question is a distraction, by the way, because every question is just simply a thought that appears in what is and dissolves itself if you don't follow it, if you don't chase it, you see. So we're going back here to the essence, to the fact that you are, you see. You're feeling guilty because you believe you're a person, that's all. If you believe you're a person, then all the feelings, sensations, they have something to attach to, and then the mind labels it. This feels guilty, this feels this feels that. But what if you simply are? When you rest in the I am that I am, you see, then all the seeming distractions on a surface, they have no effect on what you are, and this is what we're addressing here. This is all these videos are about. When the recognition that I am is established, then, well, life unfolds as it will. But you're living life with a different mentality. Because now you're living in a world with a mind that is not of it. People don't understand how can you be tranquil in the midst of whatever may be happening. Well, because you're not believing the mind that is translate whatever is happening. You see? Doesn't mean that you're a martyr or that you're insensitive or anything. No, it doesn't mean any of that. What it means is that you're conscious, your presence, you know, and from that space you see how life unfolds, and you will do whatever you're supposed to do according to life unfolding through you. Life unfolding through this character having making videos. Sometimes the character is doing other things. And the character can feel all kinds of sensations and everything. But if I don't let the mind trying to engage, interpret their situation, there's no problem. Life simply is. And that's what we're reminding ourselves always. So this question, again, has no relevance to what we're speaking of here, because this question is trying to distract us to the content of the dream. We're just recognizing the fact that I am. And once again, we're not denying our experience, because anyway, we don't even have the power to deny our experience. You see? Life unfolds, and if I try to deny the experience, it's because life wants to play the role of somebody denying the experience. But right now you're watching this video, obviously, so it implies that the experience is not being ignored. It's just that it's unfolding in a way, and life is playing these different roles in which you seems to be watching information that is helping remember who you are. I seem to be sharing information about the remember of who we are, of who I am. But in reality, we are. And once again, if you don't let the mind judge your experience, well, I am productive, but the society says that I should be making money, and I feel guilty about it. And why am I feel guilty? Well, on a psychological level, if you want to explore that, be my guest, you know, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of room for everything. However, in these videos, we cut the middleman. We go straight to the root of the cause. You see, we're just basically cutting the tree from its roots. We're not trying to, you know, deal with the branches. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with dealing with the branches. I'm simply suggesting that if you're tired of dealing with the branches and these questions keep coming up and you wonder, because every time you cut one branch, another one, you know, another one grows, and you cut the other one and then another one grows. But what if you cut everything from the root? If you cut the tree from the root, all the branches fall immediately. So then the question is, why do I feel this way? I don't know. This is just what happens. Why things are happening the way they do? I don't know. Things do happen. The whys immediately just fall out of the picture, and then all that there is experiencing. From the moment you wake up in the morning, journey begins. The curtain it rises, and then the play begins. And then when you go to bed at night, the curtain comes down and the play ends. You see? And then if you're supposed to return to the play, well, life will make sure that the curtain rises up again the next morning, if you want to say that way. And that's what brings the seeming continuity. But right now, if you don't believe the content of the mind, what remains? What remains is what is. And in the what isness, there's no guilt, there's no judgment. All that there is what is. Feelings appear in it, sensations appear in it, or seem to appear in it. Thoughts may seem to appear in it, and the doing that seems to be taking place appears in it, but you remain as you are, you see. And this is where these videos are pointing to. That's why I address that question, just to see how mind tries to distract, but then we bring it back again to what really we are remembering here. And in that remembrance, in that knowing of what I am, well, you know, again, life will unfold as it will. I don't know what's going to happen with this character, with this instrument. All I know is what is happening in the present moment experience. And if I don't identify with the content of the mind, if I don't believe the conditioning, I experience that peace that surpasses all understanding in spite of whatever may be happening. And that's what these videos are pointing to. See, and that's how you can live happily. You live a happy life. Happy doesn't mean you're laughing all the time and everything. Happy implies that you're not identified with the content of the mind. So in these videos, happy and peace are the same. They're synonymous. Let's not confuse happiness with pleasure. Pleasure is a temporary experience. It's not permanent. What we're talking about is what is permanent. And right now we can put it to the test. Right now. In spite of whatever may be happening or whatever the mind may be thinking or so, which is thoughts that are passing through, right now, okay, don't believe the content of the mind. Don't believe any thoughts. I'm not suggesting the thoughts should not be there. I'm not trying to control the thoughts. Don't control them. Leave them alone, because then you're giving them more power. You're just keeping them there. Just let them be. That's fine. Let them say whatever they're going to say. Let the thoughts be. Let everything be. That's what's the point. Let it be. I think the greatest song from the Beatles, you know, just so right in the money. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. Well, that's exactly what we're doing with these videos, technically, you know. Just let it be right now. Just don't identify with any thoughts. But you see, the mind is trying to take this as an exercise, saying, okay, I'm not going to identify with any thoughts. Well, even that is a thought. I'm just pointing to what is. Right now, if you don't identify, or there's no identification with any thoughts, if the thoughts are not believed, okay, the thought that suggests this is ridiculous, why am I doing this, or what's happening, or look at my life, or who I am, if there's no identification with any thoughts, what remains? If you answer, as I always say, then you miss the mark. What remains is what is. You see? And what is non-conceptual. It's not something you can understand. It's just simply the experience itself of beingness. This is what we're pointing to. When that is seen by no one, but again, I don't know what words to use. When that is recognized, you know, then life is. Life unfolds. And by not believing the content of the mind, which is the translation of what seems to be happening, because the mind it's conditioned to protect the sense of identity, and that's fine. It knows what to do when if there's a danger to the seeming character, but that is just the natural conditioning of the life's intelligence with this seeming character. But aside from that, if you take the conditioned, you know, the psychological content of it, it's not like you're not going to know how to function in this world. You'll keep functioning in, but you'll do it differently. Again, everything will continue as it has, but with a different way of seeing, because you're not no longer judging. Now you're seeing. See? So right now, if you don't identify with any thoughts, right now, just right now, what remains? Don't answer again. Don't say peace, tranquility, or anything. These are thoughts. I'm just pointing to what is. You see? This is what remains. This is what is. Well, this is the isness that it is always. That isness never changes. Never changes. It's always permanent. It's eternal. The only thing is that it's overshadowed by a thought. The first thought is I, individual. I am having this experience. And once you have that thought in place, then the rest will come right along. They will tag along. Oh, I feel I should be productive. I should not be productive. Society says that to be productive, I have to make money. I should do this. I shouldn't do that. But you see, all of that applies to who? Not to consciousness. They apply to a something, and that something is this thought that says I am this individual. But when that is seen, it's not that I'm denying that I seems to be a person. I don't deny any of that. I still do the same thing everybody does. The difference is that it's been done with a different mentality. And when I fall off the wagon, I didn't fall off the wagon. Falling off the wagon seems to happen, and I also see how somehow life makes sure that I get back on the wagon, you know. So, but that's not me doing it. It's what is happening through me. You see? So what is happening through you right now is that life is inviting you to listen to information that is helping you remember who you are. Great, wonderful, great. And that, as this has been, you're being reminded of whether it's this video or whether it's somebody else who's reminding you, Nisargadatta or Ramana or a book or a particular author that you happen to like because it gives resonance to the fact that you are. It doesn't matter. The source is irrelevant because the source is the same. The source is the same that seems to express through different parts of itself. So it doesn't matter where the information comes from. It's just the bottom line is that we are, I am, you are, love is, God is. That's all that there is. You see? So that isness is what you're resting in right now. You cannot say you are not. You cannot say that that you don't exist. Or existence is not experience. I mean, you feel that you exist, you sense that you exist. The problem is that you feel or sense that you exist as a person because that is the thought that is suggesting that. But without that thought, you're just existence, that's it. And as existence, playing a seeming particular role, life unfolds as it will, and you see how everything is unfolding, but again, it's living in the world with a mind that is not of it. You see, because you're not identified with the content of the mind. Then all the stories just go by the wayside. They just no longer distraction. You know, what society says, what society doesn't says. Well, these are thoughts in consciousness. You know, how things should or shouldn't be. All this stuff just immediately falls by the wayside, and then you're resting in the peace that surpasses all understanding, and this is what these videos are pointing to. Okay, well, this is the inspiration that came through this instrument. I hope it served, and as always, may peace permeate the mind so that love can be extended.